CityFibre at the moment is in a huge amount of growth, so it's gone from being a very small organisation dealing with essentially government installation of networks and sort of smallish build out to taking on this sort of challenge of building fibre to the home to 1 million premises across the UK in the next 4 years. So the driver for change was this sort of scale that was coming and the sort of strategy and vision of the company to actually deal with that scale. What quickly became evident is there was no sort of structure, everything's on spreadsheets, everything's by email. There was no sort of one view of what the world of change in that organisation looked like, or even how we were going to deliver what we'd set out strategically. So quickly we looked at Cora as a platform to give us that sort of single source of truth to what's going on in the organisation, and also to be able to give us the ability to prioritise what's really important to us. Currently, everything would look like a big wish list of things people wanted to do, but given the sort of capacity of the organisation and the growth that it's going through, there has to be a natural prioritisation that happens. So being able to put that in front of our board and our executive team to say, here is all of the change that's going on, what's the most important to you, and then actually allocate the resources and actually allocate funding for those things to help move us into that strategic position is invaluable. By categorising and just looking at that prioritisation of them, you quickly understand what's going to get you to your objective as a business, and you then have to be quite harsh and say, no, we're not doing these, but you do it in the right way. But yeah, it's a difficult journey. We're very much on the beginning of that journey. So, and we've got, not only have we got a network element in terms of our sort of network build, we've got all of the system change and the people change to manage across that. So that was not controlled, and to some degree still isn't quite under control, but the tool that we're getting from Cora Systems absolutely gives us a way of actually bringing that into a funnel, ensuring that our decision-making process is absolutely aligned and we all understand what the decision points are, and that gives us the best start and hopefully a successful outcome. One of the things we're working with yourselves on is looking at introducing this sort of stage gate or phase gate type of process to actually drive a sort of governance decision point into our projects. Typically, because it's been quite a small organisation, the decision-making process was going up to your manager or your director to go, I think this would be a good idea, and someone goes, yes, I agree, and off it gets signed. But now we're scaling to such an extent, being able to make sure that we understand what point decisions should be made and actually force the decision point, which is what Cora absolutely helps us do in a uniform and consistent way, allows us the best chance of making sure those programs land successfully in the organisation. The ability that Cora gives us to drive workflow and decision points and to be able to funnel and route that into the right people within the organisation who we have delegated that control to gives us a much clearer view of how we govern our business and both our projects going forward, both from a decision point around time, but certainly around cost and sort of when we look at contingency. It's something we don't do very well, is manage contingency of projects, but being able to actually build that into Cora and delegate those limits helps us enormously with that control point and governance. So I think a couple of things that we're really excited about with Cora is the ability to see all of our portfolio and the health of that portfolio, both from a resourcing point of view, how much change is going on in there, our spend against budget, also being able to actually capture lessons learned across we've got a huge amount of activity going on, but being able to capture the lessons into a central point and then be able to distribute those out uniformly across all of the other projects will absolutely help us manage our portfolio in a much more effective way. The other benefit we can start to get is understanding the timelines against each of our other cities and the similar type of work that we're doing across the UK, and then feed that back in and actually run scenarios and strategies around what that would mean over our entire portfolio, and would that change the shape of our resource plans? Would that mean we have to do something different from a system perspective? So being able to centralise and gather that information gives us a much more powerful tool to make decisions and forecast into the future.